Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. If you are new here, my name is Jess and I do lifestyle, haul videos, vlogging, anything. So if you like that sort of thing, don't forget to subscribe and join. But today is a little bit different than my sort of usual videos, but it's a large part of my lifestyle, so I thought why not. A lot of people do ask me stuff about this. I get a lot of questions over my lifetime, so I've got a lot of tips. So if you didn't know, I have been vegetarian my entire life. I've never eaten meat, ever. Bold statement, I know. My mum did bring me up veggie as a baby, so I've never ever eaten meat, ever. She did give me the choice as a child if I wanted to eat it, so don't think that she deprived me or anything like that. I was given the choice, but I chose not to. So yeah, I don't get into any big debates about it. I don't have any like strong opinions about it or anything like that. I eat what you eat, I eat what I eat, you eat what you eat. But the purpose of this video is to give you my top tips and hacks about being a vegetarian or becoming a vegetarian.
That girl is a stallion, hanging on my neck like medallion. Friends kissing in Italian, dirty dancing, Patrick Swayze. Girl got a lot of
obviously been doing it a very long time now, so I think I know sort of all the tricks and things you wouldn't normally know if you was becoming one. So if you're trying to become veggie because of things that you believe in, or you might even be trying it for diet reasons. I know a lot of people do it for dieting reasons, even though I'm a junky vegetarian. Eat a lot of junk food. Don't worry, junk food doesn't cut out. Anyhow, so I've written down my top tips. Me and my mum have sort of sat down, thought of our top tips, because obviously my mum has been vegetarian a long time as well. I've written them all down, so if you see me look down at my notebook, that is why. Oh. So top tip number one, which a lot of people don't realise this, is even if you're vegetarian, you can still enjoy all the same meals that you normally would. For example, well, there's so many meat alternatives out there now. For example, spag bol. You can have a meat-free version. You can even have, which I've brought here to show you, you can even now have steak, so you can still have steak and chips. You know, you're not missing out on your meals. And these actually are pretty realistic as well. Like, it's crazy how realistic these actually are. Sometimes I'm thinking, Mum, are these actually real? Because they taste real. You still have shepherd's pie, hot dogs, sausages, burgers. So if the taste of meat doesn't bother you, because it's not the taste of meat that is my reasoning, you know, you can still absolutely have everything. And the good thing about all these meat-free alternatives is they're all absolutely packed full of protein, and they've got like basically zero fat. So it's like a win-win situation, right? So you can still have, even curry, you can have curry as well. There's so many things that you can still have. Like my dad and my brothers, they eat meat, so if we're having like a family meal, we can all still have the same meal, but I just have the meat-free version, they have the meat, so you're not missing out if that's your biggest worry. That is my number one biggest tip, because a lot of people think, oh my god, I'm just gonna be eating veg all the time, and no, you can still enjoy the same things, don't worry. Tip number two, a lot of people don't know this either, you can still eat meat-flavoured items. So people usually think like with crisps and like noodles, it's like meat flavours, like chicken flavoured noodles, or you can get like bacon crisps and stuff. You can still eat them, it's just flavouring. Like there's actually no meat actually in them, other than pork scratchings obviously. But everything else you can actually eat, so it's just flavouring, there's no actual meat. So if you still like the flavour, you can still eat all of those, no problem. Tip number three. Again, you probably wouldn't know this unless you did your research or if you just knew it. Things like yogurts and mousses, a lot of them do still have gelatin in them. Gelatin, if you don't know what that is, it's basically like all the remains of animals, like bones and muscle grinded down, sounds really gross, grinded down, melted, to give things like a chewy chewy substance, or to make things set. That's why it's in a mousse, to make it like set. So a lot of mousses still have it in. A lot of yogurts, like Muller Light yogurts, still have it in. Majority of mousses have it in. I think Asda's Own don't though. Yeah, majority of mousses do. A lot of Muller products do. Not the normal split yogurts, they're fine. And a lot of those sort of desserts, you know, you find in the fridge section near yogurts, like the making it like the triple mousse sundaes and a lot of cheesecakes. A lot of cheesecakes still have gelatin in, so be careful of those. A lot of those still have it in, but you can get vegetarian cheesecakes if they're cream based. If they use cream to set, then they're absolutely fine, but a lot of them do still have gelatin in, so be warned in the chilled section of the supermarket. You can just check the label. Obviously I know what does and what doesn't now from experience, but when you just start out you might want to be like checking labels and things. That also moves on to tip number 4. I don't know why I'm giving numbers because these are sort of rolling in into each other, but sweets. Now, you probably already know this because it's quite a well-known thing now, but a lot of sweets do have gelatin in. Talking Haribos, Moams, all your typical jelly sweets like cola bottles and what is the one, like fruit pastels, oh my god, what is the ones called, Dolly mixtures, like all of those still have gelatin in. But because vegetarianism and veganism is becoming trendy now, when I was a kid this was not a thing. There's so many vegan and veggie sweets out there now, which is just incredible, and they taste amazing. Haribo do their own veggie range, M&S do their own veggie range, Skittles are fine, Starbursts are fine, most Laces are fine. There's a lot of things that are still fine, so you can still eat plenty of sweets, trust me, I know. But when I was a kid, there was hardly any veggie sweets around, like it was kind of impossible to find them. But now there are so many, so don't worry about that if you have a sweet tooth like me. Another tip number 5. I would say if you are thinking about it, now is probably the best time to start, because pretty much every shop, every restaurant have veggie and vegan options. Like when I was a kid that was not a thing. If you was veggie, you was weird, you was abnormal. Like at school I was a weird kid. Yeah, so many restaurants now have the option, it's just normal. Like before, like I used to struggle like going to places and there'd be like one option which would be like feta goat's cheese and tomato pie tart, and they're like but now there's so many options, like you don't even have to worry. It's so easy now to be vegetarian. When I was a kid, like you used to have to go to Holland and Barrett to get stuff, whereas now supermarkets are doing their own ranges. It's so much cheaper, it's so easy to do. There's so many different choices, like so many different alternatives. It's actually incredible, like it's so much easier to do these days. Next thing, I think number six, yes. Sunday dinners. Now people think, oh my god, you can't have a proper Sunday dinner. But guess what? I still go to Carvery's, I can still have a banging roast dinner, you know, I'm not missing out on that. And the only thing to look out for is gravy. If you're going around someone's house for Sunday dinner and they're not a vegetarian, a lot of people put like chicken fat and stuff into gravy, so just check that. They do it at Carvery's, but usually at Carvery's they'll have like the veggie gravy and the normal gravy. If not, you can ask and they'll bring you out a pot of normal gravy. I'm the awkward person. And roast potatoes, they're the other thing. Some people cook them in like goose fat and stuff like that, dripping. So just be careful if you're going anywhere. Roasties, and sometimes frozen ones you buy are also in that, so just watch out for that. But meat wise, they do actually do a corn roast, which is, they've improved the recipe and it tastes so much better. So, you know, you can still have your protein on your Sunday dinner roast. Okay, next tip, which I think is number 7. I probably lost count, but let's go with it. Marshmallows. So marshmallows have gelatin in, if you didn't already know, which, yeah, that's easy to remember. But if you've noticed, marshmallows are in quite a lot of things that you would forget. So cereal bars are usually a melted down marshmallows to make them stick together. Be careful of those, especially squares. Kellogg's squares, can't have those. And wagon wheels, they have it in. They've got gelatin in, so 2 little items there that you probably would not have realised. Next thing, I think this is number 8, is vitamins. So people think if you're vegetarian, you're lacking certain vitamins, you're lacking protein. No, you're not. There's plenty of ways for protein, that's for one. Vitamins, the only sort of thing that we can lack is B12, but you know, you can get the tablets. The one thing to watch out for though, if you do take supplements or vitamins, the actual capsules that the vitamins are in, a lot of those capsules have got gelatin in. Stupid, I know, but they do, so you've got to be careful for that. I've got some at the minute which I got customised from Vital. I'll link them below. You do a little questionnaire and they actually do vegan capsules because their normal capsules have got gelatin in, so watch out. Number 9, this kind of links on to most things I've already spoke to, but mints. A lot of mints have got gelatin in. Random, I know. But Polos used to, they don't anymore. So you're good to go with Polos. But there's a lot of mints, and there's like circular ones, there's that ones that you like bite into, they do, and some travel mints do as well, so watch out if you're a mint sucker. And then my sort of final tip / trick, wine. Now you're thinking, wine? What? Yes, wine. So I don't drink wine, but my mum does, and apparently in wine, certain wines are not vegetarian because of the way they process it. Sometimes they're like filter, like process it using gelatin and fish bladder. Sounds gross, I know, but apparently they do that sometimes for certain wines. I don't think they do it very often anymore, but just watch out for that if you are going proper veggie. But yeah, so they're sort of my main tips and tricks. Obviously there's so many more out there, but they're sort of the top ones I could think of that you wouldn't really know unless you know, if you get me. So I hope that helped if you are looking to be veggie or doing it diet wise, whatever you fancy. Let me know how you get on. Let me know if you've got any questions about it. Give it a like if you did like it. And disclaimer, I'm not telling you to be vegetarian. These are just tips if you want to. If you want to eat meat, fair enough. I don't, you know, doesn't bother me. I'm not one of those protesting vegetarians that are like, don't eat meat, you know what I mean? It's, you eat what you eat, I'll eat what I eat. That's all. I don't get into arguments. Oh, one other thing I wanted to show before I go. I've recently discovered these. So Richmond have now brought out meat-free sausages. These are incredible. These are the best vegetarian sausages I've had ever. Better than Quorn, better than Linda McCartney. These are so good. Oh, they're vegan as well, actually. Yeah, they're actually vegan as well. Didn't know that. But yeah, so they're so nice. Look, you can even make like a little pasta dish. So good, these. They're the most realistic sausages you can get at the moment. They've even got like the little fake skin on them and everything, and yeah, they're really nice succulent sausages. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you did like it, thumbs up, subscribe, and I shall see you guys next week.